Apologies about the technical difficulties. Restarted the stream. Give me a minute while we get other people into the live stream. Hi guys, welcome back to W18, the Watford fan channel. First off, have we got audio? I'm going to check in the chat. If it's a little bit loud, I apologise. Is it okay? Can someone confirm before we continue? Because we had a problem. We did a little stream before and I managed to forget to put the audio on. Yeah, audio is working. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to W18, the Watford fan channel. Apologies about the technical difficulties. We're here to preview Watford's game against Spurs in the Carabao Cup. At Stadium MK, not White Hart Lane, not Wembley, not Vicarage Road, Stadium MK. Tottenham sort it out. It's absolutely shambolic. Really is so poor. Obviously, White Hart Lane was meant to be built by this time. It was supposed to be built for the Liverpool game they've had. It can't be played at Wembley because I think there's an event going on there at the minute. And realistically, the tie should have just been reversed to Vicarage Road. So it's an absolute shambles from Tottenham Hotspur. Nonetheless, I'll be making the trip down to Milton Keynes tomorrow. Let me know if you are down in the comment section below. Fair play to anyone who's going. I think there's over 3,000 fans who are going tomorrow. So absolutely fantastic support from the Hornets as per usual. Anyway, getting into the preview. Obviously, our last game in the Carabao Cup was a 2-0 win against Reading. Success on the score sheet, but the main goal that everyone's talking about is the Domingos Quina won the strike. What a hit. Top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner on his left foot, sorry. I mean, what a finish from the young man. He really does look a player, and I'll touch on him whether I think he'll start tomorrow. And looking at the lineup that I think Javi Gracia will put out, it's a tough one because I think there might be a combination of the players who did play against Fulham and a few that did play in the Reading game. I don't want there to be too many players from the Fulham game because at the end of the game when they came over to the fans, everyone was absolutely shattered. Capu in particular, he was laying on the floor, he was absolutely knackered and I wouldn't put him in anywhere near the starting 11. Don't get me wrong, I would like to win a cup and I would like to go far in a cup, but you've got to get the balance right between not risking the players getting injured, but also not letting them. You want to get a mixture between not getting the players injured, but also giving the best chance of winning the game. And ultimately, that's what we want to do tomorrow. Tottenham obviously is going to be a big test, although we did win 2-1 at home at Vicarage Road with an absolutely 10-minute spell. We battered them. It'll be a different atmosphere tomorrow, and we can't really rely on the fans to get the team over the line. It's going to be a mixture of Milton Keynes fans in the home end, Tottenham fans, neutrals. It's going to be a pretty poor atmosphere in the home end. In the away end, though, I'm sure we'll be roaring on the Golden Boys. But I think that was a key factor in the home game, especially against Spurs in the 2-1 win, was that Watford fans got behind the players. Tomorrow it'll be different. It might even feel like a cup final atmosphere. The fact it's in a big stadium, although Stadium MK is a bit tin pot, over 30,000 is going to be packed into the stadium, so it should be a half decent atmosphere, and what fans are going to have to play a big part in it. But I think the one area that we do need to target with Spurs is the set pieces. We saw it in the home game. Troy Deeney, Craig Cathcart, both goals coming from set pieces. The first coming a free kick from Holebas, and the second coming from a corner from Holebas. So Holebas is actually joint top Premier League assister so far with Benjamin Mendy. Interesting fact. But I don't think he'll have any part to play tomorrow. And I'll move on to my lineup. Before we do that, let me check the live stream, what you guys are saying. It's good. Yeah, cool. Shane, Keane has to start for me. I completely agree. Luton fans are buying tickets. Yeah, I heard a rumour about that. If Sean says, disagree a little there. If we've got nearly 5k away and we could do the same, problem is less character in the squad. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's no... I'm not saying we can't make a good atmosphere in the away end. What I mean is because it's a bigger stadium, it's going to be harder to generate a better atmosphere, I think. When Vicarage Road is bouncing, it's a hard place to play for any team. So I'm hoping we can bring our atmosphere from Vicarage Road into Stadium MK, and I hope you're right, Sean. I just can't, I just can't see it happening really. It's quite ridiculous that Tottenham are having to use another ground. Completely agree. Jacob will take care of the Luton fans. Ever need anyone to run the front line against Luton fans? Let me know. TJ with the Stone Island. Anyway, moving on to my lineup tomorrow. This is one that could cause controversy. The Carabao Cup obviously does bring it up its changes and the tweaks to the starting 11. Obviously, I don't think it will be the same team that did play against Fulham. And it'll be interesting to see if Tottenham do put out a strong lineup. I think it'll be a mixture of their main players and their youngsters. But I do think Tottenham should be targeting a Carabao Cup because realistically, they're not going to be winning the Premier League, the Champions League. And FA Cup and Carabao Cup is their best chance of silverware. But that's none of my business. Let me move on to the Watford starting 11 that I'd put out. Now, I'm going to keep with the 4-4-2. Some people have been saying go back to 4-2-3-1, but I'm going to stick with the 4-4-2. I'm going to start with Aurelio Gomez in goal against his former club. He should be playing in the Cups. Ben Foster for the league. That's how it should be, and I think he'll start in goal tomorrow. Now, back four. Look at the fullbacks. We've gone for Mark Navarro at right back, Ben Wilmot at centre back. Sebastian Prodel is missing this game. Mariappa at left centre back. Bit of youth and experience in that back line, and then Messina on the left, who did look really good against Reading. So that's my back five. I like a bit of mixture between players who have got experience. Wilmot as a youngster, he obviously did play midfield against Reading, but he can drop back with Prodel not being available. Britos, Cabal aren't available either, so I can see that centre-back pairing. Then going on to the midfield, the two wingers I've gone for is Kika Femenia and Ken Sema. Femenia did come on against Fulham, but only played about half an hour or so. So I think he'll go slot in at right midfield, and Ken Sema, who hasn't really been given a chance to the Premier League due to Pereira's vein of form. And I feel like, especially in the Reading game, he looked really powerful down the left-hand side and was providing good service for Isaac's success. In the middle, I've gone for Nathaniel Chalobah, who's almost a certain to start for me. Played in the under-23s last Monday, not last Monday, the Monday before, and then was on the bench against Fulham. So this will be good for his fitness and game time. And alongside him, I've gone for the wonder boy, Domingos Quina, who put in a brilliant shift against Reading. Obviously, that sublime goal. He has to start again. I mean, he's a player who will be wanting to play in the Cups. That's the reason he moves to Watford, because he'll be given more opportunities than he would be at West Ham. So then that's my midfield. Now for the top two, I've gone for Isaac's success, because I think, number one, he's a brilliant impact sub, and against Reading, he caused the Reading back line a lot of problems. I know it's going to be a different calibre of defence, but that'll be a good challenge for Isaac. I want to see how we'll fare against the pretty solid back line that I think Spurs will put out. And then Andre Gray alongside him. Now, this is the one that I think could spark debate in the comments. The reason I haven't reverted back to the 4-2-3-1 and play success up front, I think he'll just be nullified against a half-decent defence, like Spurs. I think Andre Gray, if Troy Deeney is injured at any point during this season, and we know he's got a bit of issues with his ankle, then Andre Gray and success will have to work, and this is a perfect opportunity for Javi to experiment with that front two. Success, as I said, has been good off the bench and was decent against Reading, but can he do it against the Spurs backline? And Andre Gray getting a goal against Fulham on Saturday, he'll be wanting to continue his form, and hopefully he'll keep his confidence up. So that's my 4-4-2 starting 11 prediction. I think Andre Gray will probably be the only player that started against Fulham that does play. And that would be my preferred lineup, really. I think you don't want to put out too weak team that it will just be a rollover Spurs, but you don't want to put out you don't want to put out a too strong side. No disrespect, but you don't want to put out a too strong side that it might cause injuries. And the Premier League is the priority this season, I think. Let's have a look. Stefano Akaka is injured, by the way. He can't play. Let's have a look. Interesting team. Navarro isn't good enough yet. Could be an issue. Have to wait and see. I've only seen him once, so I'll get rid of this. I'll move over a little bit. Put Wilmot CM. I would put Wilmot CM. Shame, but we don't actually have another centre back who's who's fit that didn't play against Fulham. So we'd have to play Cathcart and Kabasele. And if you want to do that, then fair play. But I'm not. I'm not massively keen on that. Prodal's injured. Akaka's injured. Success in Akaka's injured. Deeney won't play because he needs to rest up for Arsenal. Britos is also unavailable. So that would be my starting 11 for Spurs tomorrow. Let me know in the comments what you make of it. Technical difficulties today. In terms of the Carabao Cup as a whole for Watford, the debate is: do we go for it? Like, do we target it and do we prioritise it? My answer to that at this moment is no. Obviously, I'd love to have a cup run. I think FA Cup, I'd really go for it. But Carabao Cup, no disrespect, but it's early stages. We've got Arsenal on Saturday. It's a massive game for Watford to build on that Fulham performance and hopefully get all 3 points in it. We've obviously had a scalp against Tottenham, so I fancy our chance on Saturday. I would rest up some of the players, particularly the likes of Craig Cathcart, Kabasele, who are instrumental in that back line. If we look beyond that, we're not exactly blessed with depth in the centre-back areas. You look at the centre mid, Capu's been phenomenal in that midfield. He'll obviously want to be playing against Spurs, but I just can't see that happening. Putting a big shift against Fulham. Troy Deeney has issues with his toes. I think Andre Gray will probably be the one that could start tomorrow. Maybe Pereira on the bench. But I think Javi Gracia knows that he's been told by Gino that the target this season is to do well in the league, and I don't think the Carabao Cup will be high up in his priorities. Having said that, I would like to see some of the players, the likes of Keena, Wilmot step up tomorrow. Sema, who's really looking to get a place, because Pereira, I know he started really well, but he did play poorly against Fulham on Saturday and at Craven Cottage. So I think Ken Sema really has a point to prove tomorrow. That's a good thing about the Carabao Cup. It gives players who want to prove to Javi Gracia that they're good enough to get into this starting 11 that are performing so well at the minute, that they can do it on the big stage. And so there's no better place to do it against Spurs. Well, there's probably a better place to do it than at Stadium MK, but to do it against a team like Spurs, if they put out a strong side, and I think they'll be wanting to target a Carabao Cup run and a Carabao Cup win and a trophy, and that is something probably on Tottenham fans' minds at the minute. Can they get a trophy in the cabinet? It's been a long time since the last one. I think the last one must have been in the League Cup in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, 2008. Right, finally, before I go, let's check the chat. Should Keena be on the bench for Prem games? Yes, not a bad shout, Matthew. Britos isn't available. Yeah, so as I've said, injuries at the minute, and as Sean touched on, the medical team at the minute is an absolute shambles. I mean, the amount of injuries we have sustained probably in the last year I think it's got to be up there with the most in the league, let alone the Football League. We've sustained so many injuries and so many to big players. I would have liked to see Stefano Akaka tomorrow, but unfortunately that can't happen. Britos is out, Delafeu's out, Prodal's out. Have I missed someone? I think that's about it. But there's a lot of players that are out, and a lot of players that, I'll be honest, I think there's going to be first team players on the bench tomorrow that might have to just be as covered. The likes of Hughes, Decore were on the bench for Reading. I think they'll be on the bench tomorrow. Dalberg will probably be on the bench. Hollebass. So it's going to be a strong team by Watford, I think, tomorrow. I think Andre Gray will be the only player that starts from Saturday and plays tomorrow. But let me know your starting 11 down in the comment section below. It'll be one that divides opinion. So I've got a little bit of a sore throat. So hopefully I can recover for fan cams tomorrow. It'll be me doing the fan cams outside hopefully the packed away end at Stadium MK. If you fancy coming along to share your opinion on our Carabao Cup match against Tottenham Hotspur, then come after the game and get a fan cam. As always, please leave a like if you enjoyed the videos. From now on, we'll be doing live streams for match previews. Don't forget to subscribe to W18. Thank you so much for 3,000 subscribers over the weekend, and we'll catch you tomorrow for our Carabao Cup content versus Spurs at Stadium MK tomorrow.